Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Louis and this is Royal Productions. And the weekend was kind of one of them weekends, things were happening, but not too much. But I got the content for you guys right here. So, the first thing we're going to look at in today's video is could there be another shutdown happening within a year span of time? We don't know. We'll see right now. Also, more than 7 dead and 800,000 without power as major winter storms hit. So y'all be safe, all right? And Bitcoin slides near 87,000 as US government shutdown fears weigh on crypto, okay? All this and more right now. Alrighty, so let's get right into these markets really quick before we start with the content. So like we said in our last video, if you guys haven't seen it yet, go check it out. It's happening. Bermuda goes 100% on chain. We talk about gold here and what was happening before it hit this 5,000 price range. And this is beautiful for all those who've been accumulating and understanding what's happening with gold. You're in profit right now, okay? Total market is right under 3 trillion, still the same as our last uploaded video. Bitcoin around 87, as we heard earlier. It went down and wicked down about right here, 86,375. Okay, the dominance is sitting at 60% still. Ethereum's at 28, right under that 3,000 range. It's trying to hit it. It's channeling in this area. We got HBAR 10 cents, XRP 192, and you guys can see the rest here if you care about them. All right, let's get into this. So basically, I believe it's this week before Friday. 8:59 is the deadline before everyone on Capitol Hill, all the members, go home. And yeah, they're working, I think, from their district, but before heading home to their places of living. So basically, earlier this month, the House passed the Financial Services and Government FSGG package, and these are all the numbers for it right here if you guys care about it. But basically, they're working on trying to get all these bills situated, and we have to understand that there is a lot of stuff happening behind closed doors, and the infrastructure is very cheap. It's broken right now, so it's going to take them time to get all this stuff done. Okay, so just be patient, understand that this is just the big players, and we're going to see what's actually happening with these members, because you got to remember, some sit on one side, some sit on the other, and some benefit from these things happening, and then some don't benefit, and we're going to see exactly who don't benefit right now. Okay, so let's move into this really quick. This is not no financial stuff, but this could affect the market massively, because if commerce gets shut down, people without power, flights, everything were canceled. Just be aware, this stuff affects the markets as well. So, I'm not going to get too much into conspiracy, but we did have a lot of ice stuff happening last year. And now we have these ice storms and blizzards and stuff like that. So, you can draw the comparison if you want to, but it is pretty crazy. Most of America is being ransacked by weather, as you can see this chart. It's just crazy. It's cold front. All right. So Bitcoin slides near 87,000 as U.S. government shutdown fears weigh on crypto. So basically, it slipped below 88,000 on Sunday evening as a broad risk mood weighed on the crypto market. So basically, that's why gold is taking off, because gold is one of those hedges where you can't go wrong with it. Not financial advice, but just make sure you guys do your own research and understand what's happening. So we went over it last time in this video, so check it out, where the liquidations was happening. So remember, know what's happening around the world. If people need food because of storms and because of regulations and whatnot, then this is what's going to happen. People are going to start taking money off top. Okay, there's also something else that could be affecting this besides the storms and the shutdown. Okay, and we're going to look into it right now. But let's cover some hacks really quick. So I want you guys to understand that a lot of these infrastructures are broken. Okay, they do not work. And as you can see here, these lists of things that have happened in the last month. Okay, you have a hack here. Again, you have a hack here, the 24th. You have a man accused of posing as a federal agent and trading this much in a gold scam. Okay, the infrastructure is broken to the point where once we get AI involved, once we get people with real computing power that can sit behind a desk and really make things happen, these infrastructures that are built off the old system are going to break, are going to be hacked. Okay, so you can go down the list and see how many different things are happening. But this is also a telltale sign to me that they are breaking down the old system on purpose They're allowing some of these hacks and things to happen in order for them to implement the new system. Okay, your systems don't work anymore, so you have to implement this new system and pay this fee. If you want to be in the new financial system or private system or data system, you have to move along with what's happening. I'm talking about blockchain, I'm talking about verification on smart contracts, all of that. Okay, that goes into it. All right, moving on. This is just I was gonna cover this, but you guys get the point. I don't need to beat y'all. All right, here we go. Another one. Massachusetts steals this much from the U.S. government from forged checks to OJ. So even inside the system, this stuff is happening. Even right under their own noses, this corruption is happening. Okay. All right. So let's move on to what I was talking about with gold and Bitcoin really quick. So JP Morgan Chase warns Americans could lose access to their credit. Okay. So, and this goes in tandem with this right here, where Donald Trump talks about moving the rates to 10%, no higher than 10%. Okay. So right now it could be at 20, something like that. But for JP Morgan and stuff like that, it's a risk for them because they lend out money without having the money on their books because of the high interest rates. They know they're going to get 36 or 28% back from some people, and even if they don't, the government will write some of it off or give them some type of credit for it. My point being with this is this doesn't just cut into the pockets of the consumer. This cuts into the pockets of the big JP Morgan base. So of course they're going to come out and say warns Americans about the loss on credit. You guys are worried about not being the main force and factor of the financial sector, and this is why they're trying to now be on the side of the consumer. But don't be blindsided by this. Okay, it's all smoke and screens. It's all for blockchain. It's all to incorporate the new system. Okay, moving on. So 700 billion sitting idle on the S&P 1500 balance sheets will drive the next wave of crypto adoption, says Ripple's Monica Long. So basically, this is something we also have to pay attention to. If we're talking about the stock market and how much is actually on there, then think about how much is sitting there idle. You get what I mean? So the next wave of crypto adoption. So these banks and institutions and people with big money are just waiting on the sidelines to get into these markets. Okay, and if you don't know who Monica Long is, do your research. Okay, what she says usually is true. What she says, she usually knows what she's talking about. Okay, she's part of the Ripple team. There's nobody on the Ripple team that I think would lie or say anything that, you know, puts the company at risk. Okay, so understand, be patient, continue investing in some of the assets that you do research into. Here's a quick, take a screenshot. Okay, look at these and then go do your research. Okay, some of these are sitting at 9 cents. Crow, XPR, not XRP. We got Pepe. These are shit coins. Okay, but they still work. We have Bet at one. You know, go down the list, take a screenshot, do your research. Okay, moving on. Okay, so basically, crypto fund sees 1.7 billion outflows, biggest since November 2005. And this all has to do with the government shutdown. This all has to do with the winter storm. All of this is correlated with each other. You can read the article for yourself, but basically it talks about these. It talks about the shares and outflows and stuff like that. Take a screenshot, look at this chart, see how much was taken out of the market, and just know that if you know you picked right, there's no point of doubting yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Okay. All right, here we go. Last article of the day I got for you guys. Could Europe sell U.S. debt if Greenland deal doesn't come through? So we have to understand what's happening. You get me? I'm not going to get too much into this Greenland stuff because it's crazy. But basically, America, like I said before, is not going to be the dominant force around the world. And that's just it. We have to understand that as Americans, okay? But basically, okay, so foreign investors hold roughly about 8 trillion of U.S. bonds and equities, which is twice as much as the rest of the world combined. Okay, do you see this? So if these people start selling or buying, this can move the market massively. But basically, let me okay, so it basically George, I don't know how to say his last name, Duchess Bank, I think that's how you say it. chief FX strategist, wrote in his last weekend. For all its military and economic strength, the U.S. has one key weakness. It relies on others to pay its bills via large external deficits. Everybody sees this. You know, like everybody around the world sees it. If they understand finances, if they understand GDP and how much debt we're in, they see what's happening. They know it. And I think they're getting tired of it. You know, that's why we have someone like Trump running around acting crazy. Like, you like him or hate him, I don't care. I don't have a personal opinion about him. But my point being is that we are at a pivotal moment right now, and the rest of the world is looking at us. So understand what's about to happen. Okay, look at these articles, do your own research, and remember, if you like the content, subscribe, hit the like button, even drop a comment down below. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And until next time, peace.